My voice as a joyful tool, was received.
This place where I have this incredible view because, it's a place outside of time and space.
I had had a number of magical experiences leading up to that, but I think I was still in denial. The gas in the tank was the thing that finally got me.
Welcome, wonderful souls, to Becoming Awesome with Peter D.
We have a very special meditation process today to transmit to you the ability to create and receive miracles. Please put your like and subscribe below. Comment. This is explain how you create your miracles and what in this video worked for you. What we're going to do today is three things. First of all, I'm going to teach for about 15 minutes what I know about manifesting miracles. Second, we're going to hear from 3 or 4 different people who have created miracles in their life. And then most importantly, we're going to get into a oneness field so that all of us who are creating miracles can energetically transfer to you the imprint for you to start having more miracles in your life. Stick around for the whole thing so you get the advantage of the meditation. Here we go. We have with us today a very special guest. You're going to hear from her in a few minutes. Miriam has been part of the Oneness community for a while and is just a beautiful soul. You should check out her channel, Activate the Light. Links will be below. Miriam has recently had her third gas tank fill up. That's right, Spirit's been filling gas in her tank. So I thought, well, what better way of miracles? I know we all want miracles. I want gas in the tank and money in the bank. So this got me thinking that the Becoming Awesome community has started to get to the point where many of us are demonstrating miracles. And so we created this video so that all of you out there can see what it's like to receive miracles and know what it takes to have them in your life. If you want to join this community, there will be a link below. Come to our first meeting for free. We charge, I know it's going to break the bank, get ready for this. We charge $27.27 a month to be a member. That's less than a cup of coffee each week. So if you really vibe on this thing, please join us. Now, how do miracles get formed? I've learned several different techniques. I used to go to the Ramtha School of Enlightenment, and they would teach a process called the blue grid, where you just get up an hour before dawn, face in the opposite direction of sunrise, and keep looking until you see the blue grid. What's the blue grid? It's the energy that ties us all together. Some people call it the golden thread. I call it the oneness field. Doesn't matter. You just keep looking until you see it. Once you see it, you just throw stuff in it. Throw a vision of what you want when you're in that oneness state where you're all connected. I've done this several times. I got tickets to see the World Series, right? I wanted to see the World Series because my team was in it. And so I just called up the day they put tickets on sale. I got 4 tickets, was able to sell one of them. So 3 of us went for free, right? I've got two, count them, trips down the Grand Canyon where you have to win a lottery to get selected. And people have been on that waiting list for decades, and haven't been selected. And I won 2 years in a row. So in fact, I'm with my beautiful wife, Tracy, in a relationship because when we got together, she said, hey, look, everybody talks about manifestation. You seem to be able to demonstrate doing it. Now, so I was using the blue grid technique and it worked quite well. Now, I don't do it regularly, but it's gotten to the point in my life where anything I want, I go get and I pay for it and the money shows up within minutes. I mean, I once wanted to buy a $5,000 sofa. I was really hung up on the sofa. I wanted to buy it. So I just said, okay, I'm going to go buy this sofa. And within 30 minutes, a client calls me up and says, look, I've got to spend down this money before the end of the fiscal year. So I need a purchase order from you in the next day for this amount. And the amount was to the dollar for what the sofa was. I wanted to go to the ET ranch that James Gillian has up in Oregon. I said, oh, this will be really cool. And I looked at the bank account. I didn't see any money. So I told my wife, is it Trace? Well, we'll go next spring. Within an hour, a client calls me up and says, I want to hire you. We're in rural Oregon. And I go, where? And it was literally, I'd have to drive by the ET ranch to get to her. So basically, she paid for my trip to go there. So this is kind of how life rocks and rolls and has been for me. And it's been that way for some time. Now, I bring this up about the Ramtha School of Enlightenment because Dr. Joe Dispenza used to be a teacher there. And so he was heavily influenced. And what Dispenza teaches is quite interesting. He teaches what's called you go into a space of no thing, no time, no place. So it's the way he meditates. Instead of trying to look till you see the blue grid, you just go to this place of no space and no time, no thing. And when you're there, you put in a symbol for what you want and you power it with an emotion. And that's literally his whole meditation. Okay. You just keep meditating until you can get quiet enough where you're in a space of no time, no space, no thing. And then you put in what you want and you get attracted to it. It attracts to you and you create it in your life. And of course, his work is very powerful and many, many miracles have come from people who have used it. And it's basically looking at the blue grid, except it's no thing. Now, I find this really interesting because I'm a student of Oneness. I went to Oneness University, and they taught the exact same thing. They just used Eastern language, the way it's spoken in India. In India, they basically used to get into a oneness field, right? And that's what we're going to do today. So when you stay around, we're going to get into a oneness field. And when you're in that oneness field, you act like you've already received it. You pray by saying, thank you for having this. Dispenza uses a symbol. We pray by saying, thank you for having this. And then we use all our senses, to imagine, to see it, to feel it, to taste it with gratitude. That's the emotion you power it with gratitude. And then it attracts things to your life, including all the miracles you're going to hear about today from so many people who are starting to see this in your life. So it's just very simple how you do this. Now, the biggest barrier to receiving miracles is actually allowing it to happen. Yes, allowance is the key. Well, what does that mean? When I was at Oneness University, we were in a 3-week-long course, and we spent like 3 hours every afternoon studying saints. Yeah, we would just hear stories about saints so that we could get in touch with their energetic field. And I thought it was stupid at the time. Like, why are we wasting our time? They say, well, this one saint, he would sit like this. So now go sit like this for an hour so you can feel what that's like. And we just do this every day, okay? And at the end of it, they draw us a conclusion. And that conclusion was, what do all these saints have in common? One is they had faith. In other words, they knew it was going to happen. And then 2, they allowed it. They let divine to give it to them. Now, we've already talked about the having faith is going to happen. Joe Dispenza calls it, you look at the thing in the no field and you propel it with an emotion. In the oneness, you see that it's already done and you allow gratitude, right? So then this just leaves the idea of moving past the blockage of is this possible? I work with so many people. They can book sessions with Tracy and I on a donation basis to help move past their blockages. I was working with this one lady last week and she says, oh, what am I going to do here? And I said, well, you got to clear. That's the biggest thing, is what stops you from allowing receiving. In other words, you have to go through the backlog of stuck emotions, the angers, the hurts, the pains, the stuff you keep inside, and release those. And she goes, well, then it's just going to happen like magic. And I'm like, yeah, pretty much. That's just how it works. You clear the field and you're in the magic. You just get it. She would have none of it, so she just kind of left. I thought this was really funny because the very next day I had a client who I'd seen 5 months ago, hadn't seen her since, didn't know what was up with her. She said, Peter, I did what you said. I spent 20 minutes a day, 4 or 5 times a week, just going in and clearing all that stuff. She goes, my whole life is different. Everything is different. It's like magic. Everything just comes to me. All the people who used to bother me no longer show up. People are coming to be my friend who I didn't know. It's quite nice. Everything is magic. I feel so much better. I start to desire things and they just boom, pop in my field. So it was funny. The one, oh, how's it going to be magic? I'm not going to have any of that. And the other lady, yes, I'm going to clear. And she got the magic. Now, I'm telling you all this because the biggest barrier to allowing is believing you can't have it. So after you clear your field, you start to mentally go, that's not possible. So I finally understood the reason why they had to sit for a week in India and do what all the saints was doing was to hear enough stories about people who manifested it. So what we're going to do in the next few minutes is hear stories from everyday regular people who aren't dead, who are alive right now, and none of us are saints yet. Okay. And we're just going to talk about what it's like to create miracles, to receive them in our lives. So you can start to have that doubt. And when the doubt shows up, you're going to go, oh, yeah, maybe it is a real thing. Here's another person who said they did it. Here's another person who said they did it. So that's basically what I wanted to teach you is you go in and you hold it with gratitude like it's already happened. And then you do the allowing part, especially if you can clear out what's blocking you, do the allowing part by accepting it, and then things come to you. So having said that, I want to invite some people to share about miracles in their life. Let's start with Miriam. She hosts the website, Activate Your Light. The link will be below. You can check her out on YouTube as well. She also offers sessions with some beautiful energy work. So Miriam, could you just please for a moment or two talk about what it's like to get gas in your tank?
So two things. One, magic is real. And once you start experiencing it, you fully know it. So I had to back up what you said there. It is absolutely real. And number two, I will say that the magic really started for me after I joined you all. Did magic happen before? Absolutely. But it certainly became more pronounced once I was in the field here with all of you. So this is a really high vibing group. I just want to make sure I say that because that was absolutely instrumental in my development. So the gas in the tank. I had had a number of magical experiences leading up to that, but I think I was still in denial. The gas in the tank was the thing that finally got me to accept it all as truth. And I was with my son. We were about to head to the store. And because I live in earthquake country, I always like to have a full gas tank. And so I told my son, even though our gas tank was just about half full, I said, we ought to go get gas after the store. And he grilled me. He had just, why do we have to get gas if you have gas in the car? And it dawned on me that I had never shown him the gauges before and how they work. So I kind of pulled him over and I showed it all to him and I explained to him, like, look at the range. We can, based on the gas we have, we can drive this many miles. I said, but if we fill it up, we could go further. And he said, how far can you go? And I said, I don't know, based on this, maybe, 325 miles. I just made up a number. Well, off we go to the store. And after the store, the next stop was the gas station. We got in the car and the gas gauge was well above the fill line, well above. And the range for how many miles we could go was, get ready for this, 333 miles, 333. And I thought we got into the wrong car because, of course, your human 3D mind, the programming goes, wait, there's got to be like a rational explanation for what's happening. So you're looking for all those explanations. I first thought we got in the wrong car. Even my son looked around. We kind of did this thing. And I'm like, wait, that's impossible because you can only get in here with the key fob. So it wasn't that. I called my husband. I said, does gas expand? He said, not that much. So then I'm driving up and downhill all the way home, thinking maybe if the gas swooshes in the car, the gas gauge didn't move. In fact, it didn't move until the very next morning. When I woke up in the morning, it was still at 333. And I have since now had my gas tank filled twice. Once, the last time was last week. I will tell you, the second time was in the same parking lot. The third time I was on my way to that parking lot and I said to my husband, maybe I'll get free gas today. I got in the car in my driveway and the gas tank was full. So that's as quick as I can share those stories, but there are more details if you're interested.
Beautiful. Thank you. So Mary, in a nutshell, in just a few words, do you do anything to prepare or to allow yourself to receive those?
Okay, so here's what I've learned about manifestation, and this is what has worked for me, not just with the gas, but in every way, okay? I will, if I need something or want something, I focus my intention or attention on what I want. And then usually I'll take a couple steps, like it doesn't have to be hard, right? just a few things to show the universe that I need that, or I want that, or I'm willing to work for that. And then ultimately, especially if there's resistance, like whatever I'm doing isn't working, I let it go. That's the biggest part, is letting it go and releasing it and trusting that it'll all work out. Particularly when I get the most frustrated with something, I just go, you know what? Somehow, and immediately I will usually get whatever it is that I'm searching for. I have many examples of that too, but that's the way I've found to do it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Miriam. And follow her at activateyourlight.com. Links will be below. I want to invite Starbird to speak for a moment. Starbird, actually, her and her husband Michael created the music that we're going to be looking at in the next moment. All right. Or later, we're going to hear when we go into oneness. And just beautiful, beautiful, transformative music. Starbird can do light language beautifully. She offers healing sessions. You can find her at inezmiracle.com. The links will be below. Starbird, can you please share your experience around creating, receiving miracles?
So much. I think I'm going to go a little bit another route, because what came in for me was how I came into my voice. And I was a professional dancer for many years, and basically I had a car accident and ended up with a cast on my leg. And because I had a contract with the dance company, they say, well, we're still going to use you if you're okay with that. We're going to have you do the choreography only with the upper body, and you're going to be in the center stage on a stool, and all we need from you is a long poem that you're going to memorize, or a song that you know by heart. And immediately when he said by heart, I felt like that song from my childhood, which is La Vie en Rose, from Edith Piaf. And so I basically had to sing this song as I was, moving with my upper body. And it was about 6 performances. So I rehearsed in my shower and didn't think any of it, but eventually there was a super power musician, accordionist lady that heard me in the audience, and she came to me after the show and she said, where can I hear you sing, around town? And I said, well, I only sing in my shower. So it was a validation that my voice as a joyful tool, was received. She was so touched by what happened that we ended up creating a duo of musical French interlude. And this is basically because, I had an accident that I thought was terrifying and terrible. And then I started to really understand the flow of action from the divine. I believe from that time on, I really trusted, the purpose, like the soul's purpose, because I was very mad. I wasn't happy about this shift of direction, right? And now I know why. Now I know why, because it is miraculous. Yeah.
That is beautiful, Inez. That is so, so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Links will be below. inezmiracle.com. Amazing sound healing. You'll know what I mean when we get to the song Another Moon when we go into oneness. And thank you, Michael, for helping create and put that all together. I now want to invite Scott Harris. Scott has been a friend for a long time now, and he comes to presence in a way like a few people I've met, seeing, hearing, sensing things that are way beyond what I even thought was possible. And that helped me expand. That's what I'm trying to do today with everybody sharing, is help you expand into the realms and realities. Scott lives there. So, Scott, would you please just spend a few moments giving us your take on miracles?
You kind of can't think outside the box without being outside the box. And we're talking gas in the tank, money in the bank, and it's like I look at that and I'm thinking, oh, resources. What do we want to do today? Because the only valid question there is in all of existence is, what's in front of me? This is what I got to work with. What am I going to do with it? What am I going to do that's going to improve my life? What's going to improve the life of the people around me? And going that route got me very, very community minded. And you've heard me talk, Peter, about this place where I have this incredible view across all of existence. I go there and I sit and I look at whatever comes across my eyes. Because, it's a place outside of time and space. Whatever flows through, be open to it. You never know where resources are going to come from. Do you need $1 million? No. Do you need 50,000? That's a lot easier to reach. What if something came along and took away all of your need for the things you want to buy with that $1 million? A funny thing is our relationship to property. If somebody owns something, they want to keep it up. They want to maintain it. That's going to take a fair bit of their attention and their energy. We would like to be able to use it. And in some respects, using that is a higher place, a higher thing. It's a resource. People provide these things. When you go to the chateau in France, that's a resource. It just came out of space. All right. Part of what I do is I sit in my place out there outside of time and space, and I look off and energy flows. And I just let that energy flow through. And it flows through into this energetic being that we've put together with this group, this thing called Elon. And it basically flows into everybody who's attached to that, whether they're here or not, whether you see them here or not. If the flow is high enough, it flows into the people around them. So the whole community gets powered up by this thing. The more time we spend in that space.
Thanks, Scott. That is so beautiful. I just want to reinforce a couple of things that Scott mentioned here that I think are super important. When they taught me at Oneness how to pray, they said group prayer is stronger. And that's what we do here. That's why we get into community. We refer to it as Elon, the entity name of what our group consciousness is. You're going to be participating in this meditation. You can enter that consciousness. And I think the biggest thing that you said for me that was beautiful, Scott, was you spend time in no place, no time. So you actually put your focus. See, most of us approach miracles saying, well, I want this physically. I need this money. I need that thing. Okay. You approach it from the other end. You're already in all of creation. And then where you put your attention on, things manifest, which is what Joe Dispenza was trying to tell us. So I just loved what you had to share. We're going to wrap up this sharing section with Tracy. So, she's my beloved, of course, and just being with her is a miracle. But Trace, you've always had some beautiful connections and abilities. So if you could please just share your perspective on creating miracles.
Yeah. So one thing that I heard in common, well, Miriam might have not spoken to it, but she's been part of our community. And she's also someone being of service and doing things on a donation basis. And she had her focus on the gas a lot, like you heard about with her son. She always was thinking, in maybe should I get more? And so I feel like her divine, she's such a great bond with her divine, knows, oh, she has concerns about gas. And so even though she might not have specifically said, I want you to fill my gas tank, her divine just said, okay, you are really concerned about gas. I'm going to take care of you. So I would say a big part of creating miracles is getting a great bond with your divine, right? And that starts with you just inviting them to be with you in everything. It's not like, oh, only when you're meditating, only when I'm in a church or a sacred space. No, you want to make your divine part of your ongoing life. The more you're like inviting them in, having them as your best friend, the more likely they are to do something for you. Another thing that I felt like was in common that I heard and that I also experience is when I'm in a place where it's not necessarily something I want for me, but the passion that I have for helping people or helping my community like powers my intent for what I'm wanting to create so much more than when I'm just wanting something for myself. So that can be another piece is when you're holding that bigger sense of what it is you're wanting to create and how many people that can help. And this is not at all to say it's not fine to manifest something just for you. It's really important to be authentic, right, in what you ask for. I'm going to just share one recent example because it kind of covers all the things. So we're going off to France to do this retreat. And we really only had enough people signed up to break even, right? Great. Our plane fare over there is covered and some other stuff. And Peter was taking a very nice attitude about, well, it's fine and we'll be helping people and we'll break even. But I realized after a few days that wasn't authentic for me. I was like, no, I don't want to do all of this. Like two levels were authentic. Like one, Spirit, I do not want to go and do this whole thing just to break even. Right. And the other piece was, this is such an amazing opportunity for people. I don't want all these spaces left empty. I want people to come experience. I know they're going to have miracles if they come. So two levels of that. But what I did not remember initially was the part about letting go that Miriam said. And I often do this, right? So I'm like combing through all my sheets of clients that I worked with, sending out invites, trying to entice people to go, nothing. And then I finally went, oh yeah, you forgot to just like let go, let your divine do this. So finally I was like, Spirit, I want at least 3 more participants in this. I don't know where they're going to come from. You're going to take care of it. You're going to work it all out because I'm not putting any more time into trying to find people. You're just going to bring them. And it all did. Like I was just doing sessions and next thing I know, people have only ever done one session with me. Like, we're going. One woman said to her husband, I just did a session with Tracy and we are going to this retreat. She didn't even give him a choice. She's just like, we're going. Another one came from somewhere. And then the other thing I wanted to highlight is when you are being of service to people, your divine is really going to step up and take care of you in incredible ways. And I don't mean having to give free service, but just having, when you're just that kind of person, when you see somebody in trouble and there's something you can do to help them out, or you're just someone who likes to like take that time to really look people in the eyes and say something kind to them as they're checking out your groceries or whatever it is. When you are in that space of connection, everything is going to flow through you with much greater ease. So that's what I wanted to share today.
Beautiful. Thank you, Tracy. I just want to reinforce that.
Something I forgot, Peter.
Go ahead, Scott.
Always follow your enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, that's powering it with the emotion. That's so important. Yeah. And what Tracy was saying for me to reinforce is the idea that as you give, so you receive. The service aspect is so huge. It's right there. And then, of course, the bond with the divine. That's what's super important. When I first started getting introduced to miracles, we'd go to India and people would have things called Sri Murtis. They were icons of leaders, like their guru and stuff like that. And people would spend time looking at it and praying every day. And then things would come out of their pictures. Kum, honey, ghee, turmeric, and they'd have to put bowls there. And so I saw pictures of these and I started meeting people who had the divine physically living in their house and manifesting this. And I'm like, yeah, I want that. Now, because we have a community, all right, I now know a bunch of people who have these magics in their life. And that's why we want to share them with you. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to get into a oneness field and we're going to then hold the focus that we all give and receive beautiful miracles. Now, this is really interesting because those of us who are already feeling comfortable, not just the ones who spoke, there's several other people on this call, a very powerful group you're with today, who will be sending the ability to receive miracles to you. See, Tracy and I didn't know this. We'd always go and people would give us diksha and blessings and shaktipat and all this stuff. And so we always thought they were special. And how do we get this stuff, right? You know, how's this going to work? All right. So we would try to learn that, our mindset was that we're just going to receive because they are the chosen ones. They're special and we are not worthy, right? That was our mindset. Then we just started figuring it out by clearing charges. As I'm trying to tell you, do your work to get more loose. You just instantly know things. We started figuring out, well, if they can give that and we've observed them give it, then we can give it. So we just started transmitting skills and abilities. I did an interview once with Starbird on light language. And then we did a group meditation and sent it out. And guess what happened to me right after I did an interview? I started speaking light language. Okay. So even though I didn't know I had it, I sat with somebody else who had it with the intent that we can send it. So
Yeah,
that's
and me
what
shortly thereafter. So I wanted to add that. And one more piece, when you're holding your intent, when I channeled Isis recently, she was like, how many times have you gotten the message? Right? Christ said, this you shall do and more. And all these other great beings have told you, like, you are an aspect of the divine, like, you can do these things. And she was just like, quit playing small, quit asking for crumbs, like, really throw it out there. Like, the biggest wish you could make, ask for it, and then watch it happen.
beautiful, beautiful. So what I really want to share with you is that you're here to receive, unless you're one of those who happen to have miracles already and you're viewing this. Join the field. Yes, even though you're watching at a different time in a different space, it's the same oneness field. Get into it. The rest of you, this is your time to step up. Of course, I've been trying to encourage you to join the Becoming Awesome community. I'm going to be authentic about it. One, I want to be selfish and say, look, I got this great community. And two, this is the most powerful thing we've seen to uplift people quickly. All right? And to have miracles is to participate. And whether it's with our group or another group, it doesn't matter. Walk away from this video understanding that you have been in this field. You now have this field. You now are this field. You emanate miracles. You receive miracles. You create miracles. You facilitate miracles for others. Gas in the tank and money in the bank, baby. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to get into a oneness field. I'm going to play Another Moon, the song by Starbird and Michael. And while that happens, you're going to breathe in from the central sun to your heart. You're going to breathe in, imagine a column of golden light coming through you into your heart. Then you're going to exhale it to everybody on the call and everybody watching the video and everybody in spirit who we've invited. Then you're going to turn around and inhale it from everybody watching in the future or past and everybody on the call. And you're going to inhale it and then exhale it, inhale it, exhale it, inhale it for for the entire song. We're then going to chant very quickly a Sanskrit chant, Hamsa Akum. it basically translates to God is in me, God is in you, we are one. And then we're going to go right into holding the miracles. That's right. I am a powerful God source energy creator being. I give and I receive miracles abundantly. And that's it. You're going to use all your senses to focus on that as your reality for the 3 songs that will follow. And at the end, we're going to discuss how that all impacted us. So just stay around for it and start to enjoy this. Now, let's begin by welcoming in everyone who's going to be present with us to help us. Start by bringing in your sacred higher self. He or she is always with you, but when you acknowledge it, you give them more power to be with you. Now, please bring in your team, your guides, your angels. Even if you don't know you have them or you don't know their names, ask them to be with you. Source itself, whatever your name is for the divine, the God, the goddess. Yes, beautiful. Oh, I can feel the energy rising so much. Now, Mother Earth Gaia, we're on you. You're the manifester. You're the physical manifestation of all of this. Now your ancestors, your entire lineage that led you here, including your DNA and your spiritual ancestry, all your past lives. Now we invite in all the realms, plants, animals, mineral kingdoms, fairies, dragons, dimensional beings, inner earth beings, our star brothers and sisters, all those we call ETs. And now we put out an open call to all beings of high frequency and service to love and light, any entities connected to anyone who is participating or views this meditation. We ask you to be here and supercharge it, power it. Oh, feel that rush come in. That is so beautiful. Now, if you care to, please repeat after me. I am my I am presence. And I am one with the I am presence of all humanity. Now, while this song plays, please breathe in from the central sun to your heart, from your heart to everybody in the meditation, viewing it at any time, and everyone in spirit who's joined us. Then from their hearts to yours and your hearts to theirs, while we listen to another moon. Please join in chanting if you wish. Hamsa Soham Ekam. 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 Thank you, sweet divine, that we are all powerful God source creator beings, and we realize it fully. We are so grateful that we give and receive miracles with ease and grace. We give gratitude that those around us are blessed as we are blessed by allowing the grace of manifestation and creation to flow through us. And so it is. Now, for the next 3 songs, just see it like it's already happened. Give gratitude and let yourself get lost in the beautiful channeled music by Bob Yonker that I'll be playing for the next 3 songs. And allow your experience to unfold. Know that those of us here who have a level of mastery already with this will be sending you the energies to imprint it. Allow yourself to receive it. Please feel free to sit in this field as long as you wish. Those of us on the call are going to now do what's called info looping. We're going to share the experiences we had during meditation so that it can enter into the field of everybody else and they can get what we got. Those of you who are watching this on YouTube, please put in the comments below how your meditation went, what came to you. I got a lot of messages from Spirit, but I'm going to wait a moment and give other people a chance to share before I do.
It's okay, Peter. I had a lot of epiphanies I'd like to share.
Please do, Miriam.
So the Oneness song, I got a hit that's an activation. That's what that is. You know how much I love that song. So thank you. I feel so grateful for that song. Anyway, and so I always have gratitude when we're in oneness too, which I had today. When we were chanting for the first time, I had the urge to join in. I've never done that before, ever. Not even when I lead the meditations, I just listen. And I have to tell you, my head was buzzing like I was shocked. So I'll be chanting with you every time. I won't unmute. We'll let Tracy do that. But I will be chanting with you every time going forward because that was incredible. It was an amazing experience. So I did energy work for everybody, just like I do in my one-on-one sessions, but with this intention in mind, so that everybody who's here on the call and everybody who's watching the video receives. And lately, when I've been doing my one-on-one sessions, I've been getting, it's really strange, like my guides will give me like a theme word. And what I got today was manifesting magical miracles. And then I added with Miriam, which they thought was really funny. So a little bit of alliteration for you guys from my guides. So I did the energy work. It was intense. My hands were on fire. And then I will say that the very last song, and I love all the music, really, truly, the last song locks in the intention. So the oneness is the activation, and the last song locks it in. That was sort of my like epiphany today.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Miriam. Somebody else want to share their experience, please? I can see everybody is in the meditation is just totally out there. I can feel it. So I'll go ahead and share so there's not too much dead air on the video. So the oneness field was beautifully strong today. And I'm in it. And Spirit said, first message, send this message to everybody. You have been activated. You are now the receiver and giver of miracles. So that's like affirming what Miriam got as well. So it's not just that you're here to get these miracles, you're going to be giving these miracles. All right. That was the big thing is if you need an initiation, this was it. You're initiated now. That was the first thing. The second thing was, I'm a selfish guy and I want to get as much as I give. And I was talking to Spirit about that. And Spirit says, look, Peter, you organize this whole thing. You're using your channel. Of course, you're going to get a lot. You're giving so much. So many people are going to be activated. You're going to get a lot. And they go, and we want to use this as a teaching moment for you. You gave a lecture earlier on allowing, what it's like to allow. Okay? Now notice what you just did. You went into the old programming of when you grew up, when you were the last of 9 kids in a poor immigrant family, you didn't have enough. And you're like, where's mine? Where's mine? I want mine. I want mine. You unconsciously were holding the belief that there's not enough and you got to fight for it. And that's why you got to beg and say, where's mine? What am I going to get? That's the next layer that's going to peel off of you. And you're just going to be in the abundance flow of knowing that. And that's going to allow even more miracles to come to you. And I thought, oh, that was great. Thank you. And then the last thing was I was like playing in the field because this is the thing, when you get in a oneness field, like we invited everybody who's watching this video to be in the field, Spirit senses that. So I asked Spirit, can I sense it too? So I started sensing who was watching this video. And then some of you had activations where you popped. It was like kernels of popcorn going off. And it was like each time I would notice one of those, it was like I got a little orgasm. And it's like, oh, I know, oh, oh. So I sat there for the last few songs, just watching the field pop, watching all the people coming into their right of being activated. And I'm like, oh my God, this is beautiful. So here you are, go out there, spread the wealth. There's popcorn for everybody, gas in the tank, money in the bank, and popcorn. So that was my experience. Who would like to share what happened to them? Please,
Well,
Justin, go ahead.
yeah, thanks. I had a lot of stuff and I can't really remember it all, but one thing I do remember specifically was so I actually just finished a session with Tracy just a couple hours ago. And I was connecting with in the session we uncovered the soul overlay of a past life. So I was connecting with this in the meditation, this a female person, and that was my past life. And I was sending the blessing to her during the meditation. In other words, I was kind of like sending taking all this really juicy, amazing stuff and sending it to a past life so that she could do healing for, what she would like, this trauma that she was going through. Anyways, I had this amazing, I'm even not sure exactly what happened, but there was so much gratitude and so much love and so much energy in that experience. And so the rest of the meditation for me, I think, was just giving it to myself and everyone else, and feeling like I was tuning this also on the weekend of just how exhilarating, how beautiful, what a blessing and what a miracle it is to be able to give love and blessings. And so I'm just doubling down on that. And anyways, yeah, I'm not being very articulate, but man, that was a powerful experience. So thank you all.
Thank you, Justin. Who else would like to share their experience? I know some of you are out there, but as people watching this video, it helps to understand that, the inner experience and landscape is so rich, and you'll find the commonalities as we share. This is what everyone's experienced. So you just kind of reinforces and gets better. Tracy, please.
So it's been a while since we as a group, held the intent that it was not only connecting to each other. Well, and we do record it, and people who are part of our meditation circle can watch it later. But today, knowing that our intent was to reach people out on YouTube, I was amazed at how far my energy went in connection out through all space time to all the people watching this. And similar, but not quite like the popcorn, I kept seeing there was like people, and all of a sudden their energy field was like twice as big. Like I just saw everyone's energy field expanding and expanding and expanding, and the colors of them changing. And I got this very strong message like, yeah, something magic happened here today. Anyone who comes in contact with this received an amazing blessing that's going to help them without having to be up in here about it. Just quite naturally start being in an expansive state that naturally draws to them whatever it is their passion is, whatever it is they're trying to do at whatever level. Just, yeah, tons of gifts coming in to make it happen.
Thank you. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I can also share something.
Please, Gerard.
Yeah, I checked in late. I set the alarm clock, but apparently I was too late. But as soon as I got on this call, it was so powerful. I'm just so happy to be connected. I'm connected all the time, but I'm happy to be on this call, to see the other people of my tribe. And during this meditation, the last part that I joined, I I I smelled some gasoline. I don't know if it's part of the attention, but I did. Yeah, and I
Clear
just
brilliance, smelling.
yeah.
Beautiful. For those of you who don't
Yeah.
know, this is a global community. We've got people in Australia, Singapore, France, England, Canada, and the United States on this call right now. That's why the set the alarm clock thing.
But apparently it started earlier. Okay.
Thank you, Gerard.
I got a pre-miracle before we even started. I am rebuilding my house that burned down in the forest fire years ago. A lot of people know, but some don't. And I had just found out about a week ago that I needed some concrete removed from an old, I thought I was going to be able to use an old part of the foundation, but I found out no, it's not a good idea. Get rid of it. So I needed some heavy equipment like a backhoe. So, this is an expensive thing. I wasn't expecting. And there's a young man that lives, this is way up in the mountains, 3 miles up a dirt road, many miles from a town, all this stuff. So you expect, you're gonna have to pay a lot for this. But I know this young man that lives in a nearby town who works pretty often on the mountain. So I told my son, call him up and ask him when he's gonna be up next. Well, he didn't do it and he didn't do it. Finally, I said, okay, today I'm gonna do it. So I messaged him today a little before this meditation, and I got an answer back right away. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be there tomorrow. I'll come by. So boom. And I'm sure it'll save me at least $100, if not more, because I probably need 30 minutes work, but he charges like $100 an hour plus $100, to transport and blah, blah, blah. So any case, pre-miracle already. See, before we even got into it, miracles already coming.
Beautiful, Katie. Thank you so much. Thank you. More, please. Anybody else want to share?
I would like to share. I have been working with some ancestral lines and specifically my mother line. And it's interesting that today was a day where the guardian that was doing the healing actually came up as the tree that I had shared with you a few years ago when we did a meditation with some of the trees you had been presenting to the viewers, right, and the participants. And so we all had our tree, and she came very, very strongly as the healer of the line today. And so as I was meditating, I really received that it was also the energy for healing the mothers. So this is a transmission that is also going to open up the healing for the mothers that will be receiving this YouTube message.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tree Spirit. Please, Hugh.
Well, thank you, Peter, and everybody. That was amazing. I think the focus of the meditation for me was just on keeping on working through the practices. The 14-day program that you have prepared, Tracy, and you, Peter, has been amazing, and the clearing processes that you have developed through that and as part of that program have been applying on a regular basis. And I just can't thank you enough, and everybody in the Elan group here. The change that has occurred, the gifts that I'm receiving now, even within the last 2 to 3 months, it's just amazing. So I won't go into the specifics, but there's been a lot of change, the ability to channel and voices and stars, things that I never thought I would have these experiences, but it has opened up so much. And I know that's just path. We need to keep going. But ultimately, at some point, I would really love to serve and give back. But at the moment, it's just a process of keeping going and seeing where it goes. Thank you.
Beautiful, you. Thank you. Good. All right, then. I'm going to wrap this up with my own gratitude. And just to let you know, thank you to Bob Yonker for those songs. Thank you, Starbird and Michael, for Another Moon. And to the YouTube AI algorithm that's listening, these songs are used with permission. Okay. Thank you for the gratitude for all of that. And also, thank you to those of you who shared your experiences today. Miriam, activateyourlight.com. Please check it out. And InezMiracle.com. Links will be below if you want to get in touch and get some of the powerful healing work that they do. Yeah. This meditation is to give you the gift to move into the consciousness field that miracles are real, that they happen, and that you can access them. Also, it's going to give you a taste of, imagine being in this field every week. That's why we get together, so we can live this as a baseline. And it is multiplied. Group prayers are stronger. And as you make this connection, you build the oneness. We just call the entity the group consciousness entity. And not like Musk, Elan, E-L-A-N, the French word for excitement and style and power. Okay? When you enter into the field of Elan, you have what's a group consciousness. Many of the channeled entities all over YouTube will tell you that they're a group, like Abraham Hicks. Abraham is a group. Bashar is a group. They'll all tell you that they step forward and they talk individually. What we're doing is we're moving into our galactic, our dimensional brotherhood, sisterhood by forming a group consciousness here on Earth. And right now, this is the seed of what's going to be even bigger. And we want to invite you to join it. The links are below. Hugh mentioned that there's a free 14-day program so you can start your own practice and really 3 to 5 months working at 10 minutes a day to thrive, 20 minutes a day to transform, to clear out your blockages. And then this will be a normal place for you to have these kinds of gifts and miracles. So there you go. Please leave your comments below. Share this video. There's so many people who need to get a little help, and here it is right here. So put your comments below.
We can't forget, Peter, we're going to put the link for Michael Miracle at bandcamp.com for if you liked the new Another Moon song that we used to get into oneness. They have beautiful albums and you can go and purchase their music.
Yes. I actually wrote that down in the notes on what to send to my editor, but I didn't mention it on air. Thank you. And with that, I'm just going to send lots of love. And those of you who choose to show up, see you here live Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Many blessings.